Okay, today I'm working on a 2007 Hyundai Azera. Um, the problem that we've been having with this Azera is that the back seat, the recline switch, will malfunction in such a way that the top of the seat begins to fold forward at weird times. It can do it while the car is off and in the garage. The car can be in the garage, completely turned off, and nobody inside the car, and the recline switch will have the top of the seat start coming forward, so that in the morning time when you go to step in the car, you have to hit the recline button to get the back of the seat to recline somewhat so that you can get into the car. The other time that it can happen is while you're driving. And I personally don't think that's a safe condition. So what I'm going to do, I've already ordered a new switch. Make sure the camera's on. Yeah, I've already ordered a new switch. It's a whole switch assembly. I'll probably put the part number in the description below, but I think this workaround is probably a very good workaround, maybe even a better alternative to ordering a new switch. The new switch will probably cost about $150. This is a GLE 2007 Azera, and there might be a different model number switch if you've got a different year or a different trim package. So, but this seems to be a problem that multiple Azera owners have had, because I've seen it. I went online and I looked for this issue, and I've seen other people complain about the same thing happening with different year cars, which suggests to me if you buy a new switch, you might incur the same problem anyhow, even with the new switch. So what I'm going to show is a workaround which should end that problem altogether. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show that the switch does work right now. And then we're going to bypass the switch. Or we're going to bypass the servo. Okay, so first, let's get a view of the seat. I want you to see that the seat does move. I've had all family members, everyone who uses this car, I've had sit in the car and make sure that it's in a comfortable position right now. So I'm going to first move it. I'm going to move the recline forward a little bit, then I'm going to move it back the same distance, and then I'll disable the recline servo. So here's forward a little bit. Okay, here's back about the same amount. Okay, I'm pretty sure the camera would have caught that. Now I'm going to show you how I would disable the servo. I'm going to do it two different ways. The first way I'm going to disable it is the easier, where you don't have to take the seat out of the car. Okay, so I'm going to go in on the other side. All right, now I'm taking my bare hand, and over here, I'm saying that because you see I've got these little pruning shears. I'm not using those to cut a wire. Just want to make that clear. I'm using a bare hand to reach close to the center console under the seat for a little white clip. I've got it right here. So I'm just going right underneath, straight up for a little white clip. I'm going to pull that clip right now. I'm going to squeeze it, squeezing the connector and pulling it out. You can see right here, I've just pulled a connector that has a blue wire and a yellow wire. Okay, I'm going to put that back under the seat, but I'm not going to connect it. So I'm just leaving it there. Now I expect that when I flip that switch, the seat will not move. At the same time, I expect that all of the other buttons will still function normally. So let's see what happens. No movement. No movement. Okay, it's working very well. And this button still works, still works, still works, still works. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the lumbar support button. I'm going to move the camera closer so that you can hear it. Okay, I don't know if you could hear that, but this button is still doing its normal thing. Okay. Let's see. So now, yeah, I think for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and remove these bolts again and flip the seat around so that you can see what I just disconnected. So at this point, we would be done with the project, with the workaround, which enables you to feel confident that this top of the seat is not going to push your head close to the steering wheel when you don't want your head to get closer to the steering wheel. And it would also help you feel more confident that your battery won't be drained by this servo overnight. So what I'm doing here, I should show you first how to open this little clip. Okay, that little clip is normally in this closed position, and there's 4 of them, one here, one there, and then 2 in the back. All you do to access that, to get inside that access clip, is you take something like a screwdriver, push it in, and push it out of the way. Then you use a socket. What I've been using is a 9/16. Let's see what metric it really is. Metric size, it truly is a it truly is a 14 millimeter socket. So I'm using a 9/16 here. The extension will be really helpful over there on the second bolt. Sorry, on the second nut. Okay, so there's the first nut. Okay, that'll come, don't want to hit the tripod. Come over to this one. And again, the only reason I'm doing this is to give you a better idea. The only reason that I'm doing this part of the video, where I'm removing the seat, is to give you a better idea as to where that clip that affects this, where the clip is for the recline portion of the seat. So I'm going to move the seat forward now so that I can access the two bolts. There's two nuts up front and two bolts in the back. I'm going to move the seat forward so that within the track I can access the two bolts. And it'll be this button that I push to move it forward. Okay. So now we'll go in through the back door. Again, I've already opened these. So what I was saying is, again, I've already opened these little flaps. So there's one bolt out. There's the second bolt out. Okay. Wow. Before I get out of the car, I want to show you how easy that would have been to access. I didn't even realize that flap moves. Okay, this little flap here moves. Now you can see both parts of the connector. Both parts of the connector that I worked with. You can see the part that I pulled off. And maybe not. Maybe you can't see where it came from. Yes, you can, right there. Okay, so I basically pulled that piece out of that little white piece up there. But since I've got the bolts out, let's look at it from the other view too. Okay, set the camera down. Okay, I had to lift the seat a little bit to get it off of the studs. Now I can tilt the seat and give you a really good angle of the clip that I just disconnected. Okay, so there's one. There's one part of the clip, and there's the other part of the clip. Okay? And that's what makes this button not work. So that it doesn't by itself occasionally bring this part of the seat closer to the steering wheel when you don't want it to do that. That's it. When the new switch comes in, I might make a video of reinstalling, of replacing this switch assembly. But for right now, this workaround, as long as everybody's comfortable with how this is set, this workaround should be a very powerful alternative to having to replace this switch assembly. That's it. Have a good day. I hope this helps.